Parking lot across the street from the hotel, and he is on his way up. We expect him to walk through this door at any moment. We've had several false starts, so to speak, that the president is coming. When he does, of course, there will be a large round of applause, and the Eastern Hills High School Band, 79 members, will break out with Hail to the Chief, so you'll have no doubt when he does arrive. When the president appeared out in the parking lot, he broke one of the cardinal rules of security. In fact, he broke it 2 or 3 times. He went out into the crowd, and of course, Secret Service men find this the most nervous time of any presidential appearance. As long as the Secret Service men can keep the crowd away from the president, they have a good chance of protecting him. But once he moves into a crowd, the Secret Service men are nearly immobilized in protecting him. Another rule is that anyone who approaches the president should have both hands visible and empty. And as you can tell, it's rang out. Now here comes Vice President Johnson, Governor Conley, Senator Ralph Yarborough, Congressman Jim Wright, State Senator Don Kennard. Here comes the president.
Vice President and Texas John Conley applaud President Kennedy's entrance as he returns to his hotel for a breakfast with the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce. The breakfast party awaits the arrival of Mrs. Kennedy.
Mrs. Kennedy did appear a little later at a Chamber of Commerce breakfast, timing her entry by waiting outside the door until all others were introduced. She appeared with thunderous applause, radiant in a pink suit and matching pillbox hat. This caused her husband to think back to a day 2.5 years ago in Paris.
Kennedy's entrance draws another comment from the president.
2 years ago, I said that, introduced myself in Paris by saying that I was the man who had accompanied Mrs. Kennedy to Paris. I'm getting somewhat that same sensation as I travel around Texas. Nobody wonders what Lyndon and I wear. I'm glad to be here in Jim Wright City. About 35...
It's wonderful to see you all here this morning. And we now are going to have the pleasure of hearing from Fort Worth's finest, the Texas Boys Choir.
The eyes of Texas are upon you, all the livelong day. The eyes of Texas are upon you, you cannot get away. Do not think you can escape them, at night or early in the morn. The eyes of Texas are upon you, till Gabriel blows his horn.
No, we know that you don't wear a hat. We couldn't let you leave Fort Worth without providing you with some protection against the rain.
put it on in the White House on Monday. If you'll come up there, you'll have a chance to see it there.
That Texas hat is presented to you by Washer Brothers, one of the oldest men's stores in Texas. And to protect you against local enemies in the manner that you are protecting this nation against our foreign enemies, and to keep the rattlesnakes on Vice President Johnson's ranch from striking you, we want to present this pair of boots. We won't ask you to put them on. Here. The boots are presented by Mr. John Justin, former mayor of Fort Worth, manufacturer of the most walked-about boots in the world. And Mrs. Kennedy, as you ride to the hounds or walk to the rattlesnakes, we want you to have protection too. Certainly appreciate it.
This has been the presidential breakfast from the Hotel Texas in Fort Worth. Now the presidential party will leave Fort Worth, go to Dallas, where this afternoon he will address a crowd at the Trade Mart. This program has been an origination of the KTVT remote facility.
Twin city rivalry between Fort Worth and Dallas now requires a small gesture to civic pride. The president must return to the Fort Worth airport and make the 30-mile hop to Dallas by the 600-mile-an-hour presidential jet. The president is in good spirits. The Texas trip is going well. Aside from an occasional hostile placard, the crowds are friendly. As he departs Fort Worth, eager citizens bask briefly in the presidential aura.